Welcome to Together Women Rise's October webinar. I'm Caitlin Grigsby Hall, Director of Development for Together Women Rise, and I will be the moderator for tonight's event. Before we get started, just a couple of Zoom reminders that we are probably all familiar with at this point. Please keep yourself on mute while our speakers are presenting, and there will be a Q&A after each speaker. Please enter your questions in the chat function. We will do our best to get to as many questions as we can. This is a special milestone year for Together Women Rise. 2023 is our 20th anniversary. We began in Greenville, South Carolina, thanks to the amazing collaboration of our co-founders, Marsha Wallace and Barb Collins. Today, we are a powerful community of women and allies dedicated to achieving global gender equality. We have hundreds of local chapters across the U.S. where members learn about gender equality issues, give grants to organizations that support women and girls in low-income countries in the Global South, and build community and connections with women around the world. I encourage you to visit our website at togetherwomenrise.org for more information and ways to get involved. Our 2023 annual appeal is now underway. We need your support now more than ever to create a future where every woman and girl is equal and has the opportunity to live freely, pursue her dreams, and reach her full potential. We raise about 1/3 of our funds from our year-end annual appeal. Please help us reach our goal of raising $470,000 by December 31st. Donations to our annual appeal support our grants and partnerships, provide learning materials and engagement opportunities for our members, support our chapters, and ensure that we have a strong, sustainable organization for years to come. You can donate to the annual appeal by using the link that Suzanne is going to put in the chat, or by visiting our website at togetherwomenrise.org. Please be on the lookout for upcoming emails about our annual appeal, as well as our print appeal letter, which will arrive in your mailboxes in November. Thank you for your support. So it's time now to turn to our program for the evening. Each month, Together Women Rise features a project that addresses one of the many challenges faced by women and girls in low-income countries in the Global South. We award these projects a featured grant of between $35,000 to $50,000, and together, at this monthly webinar and at chapters all across the U.S., we learn about the country, the challenges faced there by women and girls, and how the project will help women and girls and global gender equality. This month, we are partnering with Girl Rising. Our project with Girl Rising provides adolescents, educators, parents, and community members in Pakistan with the resources, training, and skills to improve education quality, remove education barriers, and create new advocates for gender equality. First, we are going to play a short video about the project, and then I will introduce our guest speakers from Girl Rising.
Through Girl Rising's Kavish project, supported by Together Women Rise, young girls in Pakistan are exploring their dreams and aspirations. They are learning about their right to a quality education, building social emotional skills, and identifying their allies who can help break down the gender barriers that they face in Pakistan and around the world. We help teachers develop new skills to address gender bias and be engaged with parents so they can be strong advocates of their daughters' aspirations. The COVID-19 pandemic and the floods of 2022 worsened the education barriers girls face. Many areas in District Khairpur were submerged by flood waters during the massive floods, which impacted health and education infrastructure. Climate change means that extreme weather events are more likely. Despite 2 decades of progress in education, nearly 12 million girls in Pakistan are not in school. Secondary school is a critical time to invest in girls' life skills. Girls are often taken out of school for marriage, labor, or to manage household. Through our work, girls develop the confidence to address gender bias in learning environments and advocate for their rights. Girl Rising's mission is to use the power of storytelling to change the way the world values girls and their education. कहीं पढ़ना चाहिए ना लड़की और लड़के आप एक जैसे जैसे मर्द करते हैं लड़कियां भी ऐसे कर सकती है नहीं जज्बात होना चाहिए लड़कियों को भी होना चाहिए जज्बात तो वो समझे तो अब हम भी कुछ कर सकते हैं मर्दों के आसरे में हम बैठा करें I'm girl rising. I'm the girls rising. I'm girl rising. I'm girl rising. I'm girl rising. I am girl rising. I am a girl rising. I am girl rising. I am girl rising.
Okay, now I'm going to introduce our speakers. Tonight, we are pleased to have with us, and I apologize again if I mispronounce your names, Riksha Hingarani, Global Program Director, and Nazreen Samad, Pakistan Program Manager. Riksha has over 12 years of experience in gender and education-based programming in India. She holds a master's in development studies with a specialization in gender from the School of Oriental and African Studies at the University of London. She is a Chevening Scholar and a Swedish Institute Leader Lab alumni. At Girl Rising, Riksha is the Director of Global Programs, and she oversees programming in 8 countries. She has developed and implemented various curricula on gender themes and designed training models for educators. Nazreen Samad is a social change and community development practitioner and has worked in various development areas, including education, peace building, and women's empowerment. Her career started with a subsidiary company of Aga Khan Rural Support Program in the northern part of Pakistan, where she used storytelling and handicraft to economically empower local artisans. This experience sparked her curiosity and drive to understand the skills and tools necessary to effectively address community development issues. To further her education, Nazreen pursued a master's degree in development studies from the University of Melbourne. For nearly 4 years, she has served as the program manager for Pakistan with Girl Rising, implementing Girl Rising storytelling and social emotional learning programs to engage educators, students, and parents. Please join me in welcoming Riksha and Nazreen. And I'll turn it over to you two.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Good evening. I'm Richa, like Katie mentioned. I'm actually based in New Delhi, and it's about 5:43 a.m. here. So I might be a little soft, and if that is the case, please let me know, and will of course be louder. I will take you through a presentation that Nasreen and I have developed. I would love to, of course, speak to you through how Girl Rising came into being. As you may have already seen in the video, Nasreen was actually playing a video for the adolescent girls. Girl Rising actually started off as a film in 2013. And this film told stories of 9 girls from across the world, and these are all real stories. These stories actually narrate how difficult it can get for girls to seek an education and how they have overcome various barriers in their lives. Across the 9 stories, the barriers have something in common. They're often fueled by a mindset of the barrier of a mindset, sorry. And that is what we're also spotlighting within these stories, that oftentimes girls may not be, of course, able to go to school for various reasons, but it's often the mindset that actually solidifies whether or not they're able to access education. We released this film in 2013. We had some Hollywood celebrities and artists as well give their voices to each of these stories. These films have then actually been screened across the globe, including Pakistan, including India and the other countries where we work. From there, we started off, of course, as a film, but today we're a global nonprofit that reaches adolescents across 8 countries. What remains core to our focus is storytelling, is using media content. And our strategy is such that we actually create media content, films, and other resources that can spotlight girls who have overcome barriers, or spotlighting girls, adolescents, adolescent boys as well, educators, parents who have supported girls' education. We collaborate with local organizations across the world who help us actually implement the curricula that we would have created. And ultimately, we activate a movement for gender equity across the countries where we work. As of today, we have a reach of 5 million adolescents in 8 countries. We reach 200 K educators and about 7,000 parents and caregivers. Our model is holistic. We try and affect the entire ecosystem that helps girls take a decision around girls' education. You would have also seen that we're present in countries like Ghana, Mexico, USA, Pakistan, of course, India, Kenya, Nigeria. And despite our work, we've also actually been, of course, around for a while now, and we saw that our work, the need for our work is actually deepening. And we've seen that even after COVID, there was a deep learning gap that continues to persist till date. And there are more than 11 million girls out of school, according to the World Economic Forum as of 2021. There are climate change related disasters that are impacting girls disproportionately. Because of climate change, a lot of girls will also miss their opportunity to seek their education or continue going to school. And a recent United Nations and World Economic Forum study actually also demonstrated a very disheartening trend of growing gender discrimination and bias, and how these have been deeply entrenched. Against all of this background, we actually have, of course, been shaping our programming for each of our countries accordingly. And now I'm actually happy to just introduce you to Nasreen, who's going to be taking us through the rest of the presentation. As was also mentioned in her introduction, she leads the project that we're currently implementing with Together Women Rise in Pakistan. And we'll, of course, be happy to take any questions at the end of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Richa, for taking us through Girl Rising work in 11 countries. So I'm right now based in Karachi, Pakistan, and overseeing the project supported by Together Women Rise. So before delving into the Kavish project, which means the word means an effort, just wanted to give you a quick, basically the bleak state of education right now. So we have around 22.8 million children who are out of school, which is second highest in the world. And only 1 in 10 girls could complete their secondary education. So the challenge is because of access to education. I mean, there is issues with access, but at the same time, there are issues with the quality of education as well, which means that the students who are already enrolled in the schools, they are also facing challenges in terms of accessing the quality education. So in order to address some of these issues, we have co-designed this project with 6 government schools. And the goal, as already mentioned by the host and Richa, that we aim to empower girls and young women by providing adolescents, educators, parents, and community members, all of them the resources, training, and skills that could basically improve the education quality, remove some of the education barriers, and create new advocates for gender equity at the community level. So in this relations, we have a very inclusive model. We are where we are working with students, teachers, and with the management on regular basis. And to basically measure our work, we have a very holistic M&E in place where we monitor and evaluate the change in attitude as well. So we have our set outcomes, and if I can just quickly we can go through these outcomes for parents. So we believe that after being part of our program, parents are going to believe that boys and girls have equal rights to education. And they are going to learn about strategies to support their children's aspiration in a better way. And they are going to be equipped with knowledge around gender concepts. For teachers, we believe that we are going to enhance some gender equitable attitudes, gender responsive teaching approaches, and after being part of our program, they are going to enhance self-efficacy in terms of using these skills to bring the change that we want to see in community. And for adolescents, we believe that through this program, they are going to have better voice, agency, and improve in gender equitable attitudes. So total reach right now for year 1 is 515 in terms of reaching out to adolescents, parents, and community and teachers. And for next year, it's going to be 315. And then these trained teachers, students, and parents are going to reach out to further in their community. And for this year, we are going to reach out to 590 adolescents, parents, and teachers through indirect activities. And for next year, it's going to be 790. So the first part was our curriculum design, where we spent a lot of our time and energies. Basically, we wanted to contextualize the GR curriculum for Pakistan, especially for Sindh, which is in south of Pakistan. So right now we have 16 sessions, 1 session per week, and it takes around 4 months to complete these sessions with the students. And weekly attendance is mandatory, and we try to ensure that students attend all of these sessions. And the themes that we have included in our curriculum includes dreams and setting goals, self-awareness. We have particular attention towards understanding one's emotions, and we have various mindfulness exercises as part of these sessions. And then this time, in-depth discussion around gender and right to education, and significance of mentors and support system for basically achieving their dreams, and then understanding the concept of failure. Specifically, we are giving a lot of attention to physical health and menstrual health, health and hygiene for girls. So we are already through 4th session. So now next week, students are starting off with their 5th session. So just wanted to share like a testimonial here that one of the student, Ambreen Chario, mentioned that before attending the Me and My Emotions session, we were slightly aware of our emotions, but didn't know how or when to appropriately express them. After the session, I realized that no emotion is inherently bad, and I learned how to express and manage my emotions. Similarly, we have another student, Bakhtavar. She also mentioned that upon watching Ruxana's film, who is one of our protagonists, I experienced a sense of sadness because my father was not around to support me to pursue my dreams. However, with discussion and other activities, I realized that we should not only rely on parents or siblings to fulfill our dreams. Sometimes the encouragement and support of teachers, friends, loved ones, and mentors can play a significant role in helping us achieve our aspirations. So this is one of the part of our M&E that our team, Kavish team, who are on ground, they do visit the classrooms every morning or during the day to just have a chat with students and to get their feedback on the sessions, and they further support the educators in terms of giving admin support or mentoring to better implement the sessions. So this photo shows our 3 days training session, which was conducted back in June, where we are doing one of our activity from the curriculum on child rights. So basically, with teachers, we have a very continuous engagement. We started off with an orientation session where we explained the program and asked teachers to volunteer and show their interest if they would like to be the part of the program. And once they registered in the second stage, we conducted a 3 days training. And we are continuously giving in-service support to the educators as well. Throughout the implementation, they are getting online support, ongoing training as well. For instance, by the end of this month, I'm going to conduct a refresher again so that we can discuss the issues they are facing or other resources if they need in the process. And once we are done with the implementation, then selected number of educators will be trained as a master trainers who would further train other educators from nearby government schools. And I'm very happy to share that recently our team conducted a session in another government school who were not part of our proposed schools, basically. And this happened because they heard about this program and they requested the management if similar program could be implemented in their school as well. So during the process of working in communities, we have learned that engagement of senior management is crucial. So this photo is from an activity we conducted back in January to take all the senior management on board regarding the program. So we did a vision exercise as well, where we basically asked the headmasters and headmistresses to share their vision for their schools or the things they would like to change in the community. And we realized that there were issues of absenteeism, dropout, and early child marriages in the community as well. So this program was really helping them out in addressing those issues at some extent. So we have seen that after that, HMs have been very cooperative in terms of supporting us in reaching out to communities, in implementing the curriculum on weekly basis. And this has been a great help. One of the very interesting component of our Kavish project is engagement, parent engagement. So basically, in addition to working on curriculum for students, we also developed parent engagement guides to basically engage parents throughout this project cycle. And we have 6 sessions in total, and they all are activity-based sessions. Right now, we are working with 13 groups of parents. So around 8 groups of mothers group and 5 groups of fathers group, where we encourage parent-to-parent learning as well. And in later phase, we are going to do various activities where we will basically give them an opportunity to interact with adolescents in the school environment as well. So far, our key learnings from parent engagement component has been that parents should be taken as gender equality partners, and the content should be contextualized. And I'm going to give few examples of this in my next slide.
Yeah,
and then
I'm muted. How was it?
Engagement of school senior management is crucial to ensure parent engagement in the schools, and then accommodating parent schedules. So most of the parents in the communities we are working are daily wages. So in this relation, we always have to accommodate their timings as well. So most of the father session are happening in community in the evening time, while mothers usually visit school in the morning times. And another learning is that we should have male and female officers on ground so that we can better engage mothers and fathers group so that they are comfortable sharing their issues with the
family.
So
Family and his kids.
while developing the guides and parent engagement sessions, we basically try to address the issues which are happening on ground. So for instance, after working with students, we realize that a lot of students come to us and, just tell me that, we love doing exercises on goal setting and we have so many dreams. But once we go home and we share these things with our parents, we often do not get encouragement. So in order to solve that issue, we ensure that, we should have content related to significance of education, role of parents in supporting children in their dreams, and communication strategies to bridge the gap between parents and children. Similarly, as it was seen in the video as well, we have families who have faced significant hardships in floods. So we added a few sessions on emotional well-being and how to manage burnout and what would be some of the coping strategies.
Somebody talking to you?
As I mentioned that we do have dropout or incidents of early marriages in the community. So to combat these issues, we have sessions on gender and child rights that could help parents create an inclusive environment for both their daughters and sons to thrive. So before I finish my presentation, this is a photo of mother who is making a card for her daughter. And I just loved her expression during one of the activities we conduct with parents. So I thought I should share it with you. So she mentioned that for several years, we had very limited involvement with the school and were not fully informed regarding the activities of our children, which they are engaged in. Kavish project has taken a commendable initiative to involve us, providing insights into the classroom environment and our children's development. Another mother shared that upon hearing Rabia's story, which is a girl rising story from Pakistan, I felt a profound sadness because I was unable to complete my 5th grade due to an early marriage. I had a strong desire for education, but my marriage at a young age disrupted my dreams. While everyone else went to school, I also wanted, but my mother-in-law also prevented me from pursuing it. I'm more determined to support my children in achieving their dreams. This is a mother from Jelani School. Similarly, we have some testimonials from fathers as well. We have conducted 4 sessions with parents over the span of last 6 months. So one of the father mentioned, we feel grateful to get an opportunity to share our thoughts in an engaging manner. After attending the session, I also realized that as parents, we shouldn't burden our children with our stress. Otherwise, they may feel pressured and lose their focus on their studies. Another father from this community mentioned, after watching Ruxana's film, I felt that sometimes I show insufficient support to my daughters in pursuing their dreams. However, through discussions during the session and engagement in other activities, I experienced a sense of motivation and a reminder that it's not solely reliant on mothers or siblings to support them in fulfilling their dreams. So in the next phase of this project, once children are done with 16 sessions in the classrooms, parents complete their parent engagement sessions within their communities, and teachers are done implementing the sessions, we are going to have more community engagement. So we are in the process of already selecting girl icons from the students we are working with right now. They are going to be trained on community engagement guides, which we are going to develop soon. And then these young girls are going to impart session with younger students in primary classes or within their community regarding how to understand emotions and how to regulate it. Or so the basic purpose is to train them as leaders in their community, who have better voice and agency in terms of facilitating positive change from very young age, and have a meaningful life in future as well. Similarly, mothers and fathers are seen as gender equality partners. So we are going to do the same exercise. Selected number of mothers and fathers are going to be given opportunity to conduct similar kind of sessions within their communities in local language. And teachers, as master trainers, as I mentioned previously, we would like to take this model to other schools in the same vicinity or in the same district. So for that, selected numbers of teachers are going to be trained as master trainers, and they are going to basically train other educators in their district. So that is all from my end. This is an effort, a Kavish, to basically give equal access and equal opportunities for girls in Pakistan. Thank you.
Thank you both so much for that amazing presentation. We really appreciate you both being here with us. And I'm going to turn this over to Suzanne, who's going to share some of the questions that our members have put in the chat.
Hey everyone, it looks like Girl Rising was on the spot and answered many of the questions that were asked. I don't want to repeat what's in the chat. Y'all can scroll through and read them if you're interested. Does anybody have any questions that maybe weren't answered in the chat? No additional questions. Well, if you have some as we move forward in the webinar, put them in the chat and I will be sure to address them at the end. Oh, yes, Nancy, it looks like you have a question.
How do you identify these girls?
So basically, we are working with 6 government schools, and our target is to work with every child who is enrolled in the secondary. Basically, we start from grade 5 and go up to grade 10. So all the girls who are enrolled in the school are part of the program.
Okay, so it seems to me that it's a big project. When did you start your project, and how many students you start with?
Srini, you're on mute.
Yep, Inkasar. So we started this project back in January, but to be honest, the work was started last year. So there was a lot of background work going on in terms of co-designing this project and going through the approach, because it's very inclusive, and you are quite right that it's bigger approach. So a lot of resources from Girl Rising is also going into this project. So in terms of numbers, right now, around 400 girls are involved as per my M&E list. So more than we have basically promised. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. But it's great. I like it.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Suzanne, maybe there's a question regarding MEL, the monitoring and evaluation, if I can add it here.
Sure.
So basically, before starting the implementation, we conducted the baseline with all the students. So the purpose is to see the attitudes and beliefs before implementing the project. So we are done with the baseline with all the students who are in the secondary school. We are done with the baseline with the teachers and midline with the teachers as well. And the data is under basically review and compilation. So once we are done with the implementation, then we have tools to conduct end-line surveys, and we have both like qualitative and narrative, quantitative and qualitative narrative-based evaluation. And we have a robust MEL framework, and then we have a team in Girl Rising who are taking care of this component of the project as well. And even the project we have designed is based on our Echidna giving funding we had for Pakistan. We basically measured our work for last 2 years, and the content we have created and the project we have designed is based on the learnings from our work in Pakistan. So it's always like, one step better, because every time we learn new things from ground, and we try to build on the recommendations from the community and the students and the teachers, and then we build on it. So it's more like localized and culturally sensitive, and we could deal with the issues in an empathetic manner.
Nasreen, there's another question on where the schools are located in Pakistan.
Sure. So it's in Sindh, so the south part of Pakistan. The district is called Khairpur. And it was one of the districts very harshly impacted by the last year's flood. So it was almost drowned, and all the schools we are working in was basically some were impacted and some were used as temporary shelters for people as well.
Are the schools in rural or urban areas?
So I would say semi-urban and urban. But the rural part is very near. So recently, as I mentioned, that we had we were requested by one of the schools to conduct sessions there. That school was in a rural community. So in the next phase, we might touch the rural part as well through our community engagement sessions. And students, some of the students, in fact, there is a good number who travel to these schools from the rural setup as well. So if you can, I don't know if I've shared photos, but the sessions being conducted in communities. So a lot of children are coming to school from those communities.
And one more question. What have been some of your greatest challenges?
Challenges, I think, we are still working on the quality. So for instance, last time when I was in the community and I was discussing regarding the absenteeism in the schools, so there is the issue regarding mobility. So a lot of girls, they face challenges in terms of getting to school. So while conducting the baseline, I realized that there are, or even during the sessions, there are still issues of absenteeism in the school. So the strategy we are right now working on is, after 3 sessions, 4 sessions with parents, now I have asked my team on ground to basically check if the parents of those students who are constantly being absent are part of our sessions or not. So we are basically now working on this strategy, and we are trying to see basically this relation, that if a parent is active, and if a parent is taking interest in her mother is taking interest in her daughter's education, and then we can see if this is going to impact their attendance or not. And in the next phase, maybe we are going to have better, we ensure that every child who is being absent, their parents are part of our project or our sessions. Because initially I was not anticipating that the number could be, the absenteeism is going to be an issue. But after baseline, which helped us a lot to trace every child and to see if they are attending the sessions or not. So again, it's a learning for us, and we are going to somehow improve the school environment or access issue in some way?
Thanks, Nasreen. And just to add to that, I think some of the other challenges that we also face in Pakistan, of course, in addition to other countries, is also that when girls go through our curriculum, they, of course, get used to speaking their mind, talking about their aspirations, talking about their dreams. But often, as soon as the project ends, that opportunity also ceases to exist. So what we're actually doing now is that we're building icons, girl icons, so that they're also trained in, continuing to actually keep the movement alive. We can actually have girls train other girls also after the after the project has ended, so that the project doesn't actually have to end when the funding ends. The project needs to, of course, be kept alive. The efforts need to be kept alive. So that's also something that we have actually incorporated within this project, and that's something that will happen later in the year for us. Apart from this, I think the challenge that persists is also sometimes when you're training educators who are tied to a school, to a government school, they often have so many responsibilities that they may not feel motivated to actually be even implementing the sessions in schools. They actually have a lot of responsibilities, including, of course, managing an academic calendar, then exams, etc. But it's actually the relationship that we've been able to forge with the school management committees that have really actually helped them also feel supported. Because unless the teachers do not feel supported, it's also really difficult for them to implement these sessions with, conviction in schools. So those were some of the challenges that we were actually able to resolve through the course of the project.
I have a question. I don't know if Pakistan is a safe country. Is it safe for you to publicly say that you have this school and to talk about gender equality, and you are supported by foreign countries? Budget. So I don't know how is the situation of Pakistan. Is it safe? I am comparing with my home country, Iraq. So I don't think I can talk publicly that I am supported by a US company and I publicly have this school. I did my classes in houses, in a home, in each area. So the student not shown that they are going to a public school. So I try to hide a lot of 90% of the information for my safety when I go to my home country and for my teachers, for my students. So, but I see like your school is big and is publicly shown. So is Pakistan a safe country? Which I wish it is.
So, when designing the program, we were working closely with the school management, and everybody was involved, and we contextualized the curriculum, and we all knew the issues on ground. So in that relation, I would say that it's safe because, we are not doing anything that is basically against the law of the land, or it is going to in fact support government and the educators in basically improving the quality of education. So right now, Pakistani government is putting a lot of resources, international communities supporting the government in basically bringing all those children back to school, out of children back to school. So this initiative, I would say, connects to that part of the work which is needed and which is required on ground. As I mentioned, just like, there's like very large chunk of children, particularly girls, who are out of school. So this is kind of an emergency situation. So this kind of support, I believe, is appreciated and is being appreciated by the management and by the employees working in those schools. And everybody in the district now know that what Girl Rising is doing, and parents and children, especially when, this video was shared. So it was circulated widely. And parents, yeah, everybody's appreciative of our work and the support being extended by Together Women Rise.
Thank you.
Thank you both so much. We're going to leave the questions here, so we have the time for the rest of our program. But thank you, and Together Women Rise is very pleased to support the important work of Girl Rising. So next, we'd like to welcome Marianne Heath, who is going to share about the trip that Together Women Rise had in Tanzania in August. The group visited some of our grantees, including secondary education for girls' advancement and African people and wildlife. Marianne, thank you for joining us tonight to share more about your travel experience. I'm going to turn it over to you now. I think you're still muted.
Thank you for having me. We had an outstanding trip to Tanzania. We were about 17 women and met up in Dar es Salaam. And the first the first full day there, we basically spent traveling on a bus to Morogoro, where the girls, Sega Girls School is located. And even though it was such a long bus trip, it was very educational because we got to see not only the landscape, but also a lot of towns and villages that we drove through. At the girls' school, we were lodged in their guest house, and the girls welcomed us with song, and it was just lovely. Together Women Rise supported the school, I think in 2013, to start their poultry farming, and they supply themselves completely with eggs. And I'm not sure whether they get their chicken from their poultry, but I would think that they do. We spent 3 nights there, 1 full day, partly with the girls, but also visiting a family in the village, a family who had a girl at the school. And that was an eye-opener for us all. They lived in a very poor community. The father had built their own house, and they cooked a meal for us, and they had done that all on open fire. On the school itself, the girls were delightful. They were so happy, and they loved sports, and a lot of the younger members on our trip were playing volleyball with them, and they did a lot of sharing of songs and teaching each other African and American songs. We went back to Dar es Salaam, and on the way we stopped at a place called Apopo, where they trained rats to sniff out landmines. That was unbelievable, a really interesting project. They trained the rats, who live up to 8 years, which is unusual for rats. So this is a special strain they have. And it was a nice stop on the long bus trip back to Dar es Salaam. The next day, we flew in 2 small planes to Zanzibar, where we transferred to a little larger plane to Arusha, where we visited a Maasai village, and the women in that village were beekeepers, and we have supported their business and they're doing very well with their honey business, and they are expanding into creams and lotions. I bought one of their creams and it was absolutely lovely. Up north, we stayed in the Tangier National Park, and we had 2 full days of safari, which was equally lovely. It was fantastic. I kept track of the wildlife that we saw, and including the birds, of which there were many. I listed 76 different animals that we saw in that short time. And we saw most of them many times. Elephants with babies. There was a mother who had 3 babies, different ages, and there were giraffes and zebras and lots of animals. And that was basically, then we all dispersed from Arusha back to our destinations. A few people went on to Kilimanjaro, and I don't know if they climbed the mountain, but they may have. We saw the mountain from the airplane on our way back from Tanzania. It's actually a big mountain. And yeah, that was it. It was a fabulous trip. It was a fabulous group of women also. It's the second time I've traveled with Together Women Rise, and I love going to see the projects, but I also love that both times I've been with groups of people and we have this same interests. We all know why we're there, and you very quickly become a community on those trips. So I highly recommend that people do that if they're interested in traveling.
Thank you so much, Marianne, for sharing about your trip to Tanzania. That was really, really interesting. And I invite everyone to be on the lookout for information about future trips. We hope to do 2 trips next year in 2024. And hopefully we'll have information for everyone soon about where those trips will be and when they will happen. So thank you again for sharing. So I'm going to conclude our program this evening with a few wrap-up announcements, and then I will release you all to enjoy the rest of your day. Reminder that Together Women Rise depends on your donations to fund projects like the ones you learned about tonight, as well as all of our education and engagement activities. Please visit our website at togetherwomenrise.org to support our mission. A few upcoming events. On October 17th, we will host the Together Women Rise Advocacy Group with Results monthly webinar. On October 21st, we will be hosting a 20th anniversary event in Phoenix. Please visit our website for the dates and details for other upcoming 20th anniversary celebrations. The deadline to register for the Phoenix event is October 13th. I want to highlight our upcoming book club on Wednesday, November 1st at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. We will be discussing the book Secrets of the Språkar, Iceland's Extraordinary Women and How They Are Changing the World. And our special guest speaker will be the author herself, who is also the First Lady of Iceland, Eliza Reid. We're really excited to welcome her, and we hope you'll join us. Our next monthly webinar is on Thursday, November 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We will be featuring our projects with children of Vietnam and growth through learning. And finally, we have our final 20th anniversary celebration in Washington, D.C. on November 4th. We have some amazing speakers, including former Ambassador for Global Women's Issues, Melanie Verveer, and the founder and president of Equimondo, one of our transformation partners. plus a panel discussion with 3 of RISE's past grantees. The registration deadline for the event in DC is October 27th. You can find info about these upcoming events on our website. Click on the Join Us tab and then Upcoming Events. Here you will learn more, be able to register for the events, and access recordings of past events. Thank you all, and I hope that you have a good night.
Thanks, guys. Now you can go back to bed, right? All right, appreciate your time.
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank
you
you,
both.
Suzanne.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Caitlin.
Caitlin.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.